We often think of a story's setting as simple background scenery, a rainy street, a futuristic city, but it's not. A book isn't born in a vacuum. It's a direct product of its time and place. The world that creates a text actively shapes everything about it. Consider historical context. A novel from the 1920s is shaped by the first wave of female independence and the novelty of the automobile. A story from today grapples with AI and digital anxieties. The very rules of life are different. Then there's cultural context. A British novel might be built around rigid class structures, while an Australian one wrestles with identity in the harsh bush. These contexts, historical, cultural, social, don't just influence the story. They draw the line on what can be thought, said, or even published. Think about representing sexuality. In a Victorian novel, it's all coded language and forbidden desire. Today, it can be explicit, though still debated. The world dictates the words. So why does this matter for analysis? Because when we compare two texts from different worlds, we see something incredible about what it means to be human. Take a universal theme like freedom. In a 19th century text, freedom might mean a woman's right to choose her husband. The fight is against law and custom. But in a contemporary story, freedom is broader. It's about autonomy, fighting against economic or psychological constraints. The theme is constant, but the context completely redefines its meaning and its battleground. And we can't forget the author's own lens. A wealthy, white 19th century woman like Jane Austen experiences and represents society very differently than a 20th century Black American woman like Toni Morrison. Comparing texts this way reveals what's timeless in our concerns: love, power, justice, and what is uniquely shaped by a moment in history. Context isn't just background information. It's the active force that gives a story its voice, its limits, and its ultimate meaning.